In 1979, a U.S. satellite drifting high above the Indian Ocean detected something strange. A sudden, bright double flash in one of the most remote places on Earth. No explosion was ever found. No country claimed responsibility, and decades later, the world still can't agree on what actually happened. It remains one of the most debated signals ever recorded during the Cold War, and the mystery only deepens the more closely you examine it. The satellite that saw it was part of the Vela program, a system launched in the 1960s and 70s to detect nuclear tests anywhere on the planet. These satellites weren't weapons, they were early warning tools, floating sensors designed to spot the unique light signature of a nuclear detonation. For years, they quietly orbited Earth, watching for flashes no one was supposed to create. Their reliability was the reason the world trusted them, and the reason this detection caused so much concern. The double flash they were designed to detect wasn't random. It was a very specific pattern, a quick, intense burst of light, followed by a second, longer pulse. It happens when a nuclear fireball expands, dims, and then brightens again as it stabilizes. The Vela satellites had seen this pattern before, and every time, it meant the same thing, a nuclear test. But this one didn't match any known test site. It appeared in a place where no country had ever tested a weapon, and that alone made analysts stop and take notice. The Cold War was still tense. Nuclear treaties were fragile, and every test mattered. A secret detonation in the open ocean could mean a violation of international agreements, or a covert weapons program no one wanted to acknowledge. Even the possibility of an unannounced test was enough to trigger concern. If someone had detonated a device in secret, it meant they were either hiding something, or sending a message. And in the Cold War, messages were rarely subtle. The flash came from a remote stretch of the Indian Ocean near the Prince Edward Islands. No major shipping routes, no military bases, no known testing grounds. It was one of the last places anyone expected a nuclear signature. The region was so isolated that even today, few ships pass through it. That isolation made the event even more suspicious. If someone wanted to test a device without being seen, this was the perfect place to do it. The ocean around the islands is vast, empty, and rarely monitored. Within hours, the U.S. launched a classified investigation. Intelligence agencies, scientists, and analysts reviewed satellite data, weather patterns, and naval activity. They compared the flash to previous nuclear tests, checked for seismic activity, and searched for any sign of fallout. Their goal wasn't to blame anyone. It was to determine whether the world had just witnessed an illegal nuclear test. The stakes were high, and the pressure to find answers was immediate. And as more experts joined the effort, the mystery only grew deeper. Three main theories emerged. First, the satellite malfunctioned. Second, it was a natural event, like a meteor or lightning strike. And third, it was a real nuclear detonation carried out in secret. Each theory had evidence, and each had problems. The data was clear enough to be suspicious, but not clear enough to be definitive. It was the kind of signal that sat right on the edge of certainty, where every interpretation felt possible. One theory suggested a joint test between South Africa and Israel, who were rumored to be cooperating on nuclear technology at the time. The location matched where such a test might happen, far from scrutiny and in international waters. Some intelligence reports hinted at unusual activity in the region, but no physical evidence was ever found, and both countries denied involvement. Without debris, fallout, or seismic readings, the theory remained speculation. It was a puzzle with too many missing pieces to form a complete picture. Supporters pointed to political tensions and Cold War secrecy. Critics argued the flash was too weak or inconsistent to be a nuclear blast. Some said the satellite's sensors were aging. Others argued the pattern was too precise to be anything but a detonation. The debate grew so intense that the U.S. formed a scientific review panel to settle the question. It included physicists, engineers, and atmospheric experts, all tasked with analyzing every detail. Their job was to cut through the noise and find the truth. The panel reviewed every frame of data and every sensor reading. They studied weather conditions, ocean reflections, and even the angle of the satellite at the moment of detection. They compared the flash to known nuclear tests, looking for similarities and differences. Their job wasn't to find a culprit. It was to determine whether the flash was real. After months of study, the panel reached a surprising conclusion. The flash might have been an instrument glitch. A false alarm, but even they admitted the evidence wasn't definitive. Their final report ended with one word: inconclusive. Many scientists never accepted the glitch explanation. The Vela satellite had been reliable for years. It had detected multiple confirmed nuclear tests with near-perfect accuracy, and the double flash pattern was too precise to ignore. Some experts argued that if it were a glitch, it would have looked different. Others pointed out that no natural phenomenon produces a double flash that clean. To this day, experts still debate what the satellite actually saw. The Vela incident remains one of the Cold War's most enduring mysteries. A flash in the dark, a signal with no source, and a question the world still can't answer. Was it a mistake, or a nuclear test someone never wanted us to find? Until definitive evidence appears, the Vela incident will remain a rare moment when technology caught something the world wasn't ready to explain. And the longer the mystery lasts, the more it becomes a symbol of how much of the Cold War still hides in shadows.